and we're going to start this week looking at situations involving different lines of play, finding the best option for declarer in a number of situations. So let me start by sharing my screen with you. And let's go to this one, I hope. Okay, and let's minimize that. Great. So hopefully you can all see that screen. And this was a hand actually that was played online a few months ago. And let's have a look at the bidding on this one. You open one no trump as West here, and your partner bids 2 clubs, which is Stayman. You bid 2 hearts. Then they go into 4 no trump. You show 1 ace. You're just playing ordinary Blackwood here. So 5 diamond shows 1 ace, and you end up in 6 hearts. And most people who played this made, ended up in 4 hearts or 6 hearts. Some people made more tricks than others. And let's have a look at this because it's relatively straightforward. So West is declarer here. North here leads the 10 of clubs. And before we go any further, I'd like you to count how many likely top tricks you have. Sometimes in a suit contract, you can count your expected losers, or you may also find it helpful to count your expected tricks. But start off by counting just your top tricks. And in a moment, I'll launch a poll. And the question is, how many likely top tricks do you have here? Whether you're playing this in 6 hearts or in 6 no trump, it's worth counting your top tricks, your definite likely top tricks, if that makes any sense. And 56% went for 8, 19% went for 9, 90% went for 10, and 1 person went for 11, and 1 person went for 12. So let's count our top tricks here. So in spades, we've got 2 top tricks, the ace and the king. And how many do we have in hearts? Well,
5.
we have 9 trump here between us and dummy, which means the opponents have only got 4. So it's very likely that we're going to make all those hearts. Not absolutely certain. There could be a 4-0 distribution of the missing hearts that would mean we wouldn't make all those, but very likely we have 5 heart tricks. So I'm going to count that as 5 likely heart tricks, barring a horrible distribution. And they're going to be top tricks, tricks we can take right away. In diamonds, I don't have any top tricks because I'm missing the ace. And in clubs, I have 3 top tricks, the ace, king, queen. So I think I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I think I have 10 tricks here, barring a horrible heartbreak. I've got 10 top tricks. And all I need here is to find 2 more tricks from somewhere else. And I think it's fairly clear that I can make 2 more tricks in diamonds. I've got the king, queen, jack. All I need to do is force out the ace, and I should be able to make 12 tricks here. When this hand was played, only about half of the declarers made 12 tricks. And I think what happened was that some of them tried other things like a spade finesse or didn't draw all the trumps, things like that. But this really should be a relatively straightforward one. You have 10 top tricks in all likelihood, and all you need to do is to force out the ace of diamonds. So if they lead a club, I would win that. I would immediately turn my attention to hearts. This is actually how it was played at the table. It's not quite the optimum way, but this is what this declarer did, which is quite reasonable. They took their king of hearts, they played another heart, and that's actually 8 hearts gone. So that's all the trump gone. And then they just turned their attention to diamonds. They played the king. The opponents will get in whatever they play back. You've still got stoppers in all the other suits. And all you need to do is take your queen of diamonds, your ace of spades, your jack of diamonds, and you'll make exactly 12 tricks on that one. So relatively straightforward, and yet quite a lot of people manage to go wrong somehow. Some play this in 6 no trump. It has the same number of tricks you can make in 6 no trump as in 6 hearts. Any comments on that? So really that was all about choosing the best option, and there was only really one good option, which is to play the diamonds, and do that while you still have stoppers in all the other suits. Do interrupt me if you have a question about that. Let's have a look at another one here, and this is the one I sent out as a quiz over the weekend. And your partner opens 1 club, you respond to heart, they bid 2 hearts, and you've got a nice hand. You've got like 15 points, I think, fit in hearts, and you jump to 4 hearts, and that ends the auction. And the opponents here lead the Jack of diamonds, and I'm going to launch a second poll now, and the question is going to be, looking at this hand from the south point of view, with normal distribution in the suits, so normal distributions of hearts and clubs, for example, how many losers would you expect here? So look at the way you look at it is look at the hand from south point of view, let's say, and see how many potential losers you have, but take into account any strength you have in the north hand. And in a moment, I'm going to launch a poll, and the question is, how many losers do you expect here? Or how many potential losers might you have? Let me end the poll there, and I'll share results with you. And again, this is very interesting from my point of view. The majority have gone for 5, with 32% saying 4, 25% saying 3, and 2 people saying 7%. So let's have a look at it. Let's see what we think. So let's go through the suits one at a time. I'm going to look at it from the point of view of the south hand, and I think in spades, I seem to have 1 loser there, because I've got the ace and then a second card. So if I'm able to ruff, I will only lose 1 spade. In hearts, with normal distribution, which is say a 3-2 division of the remaining hearts, I'm probably going to lose 1 trick there. So 1 spade and 1 heart. I don't have any diamond losers. In fact, I've got 3 good diamonds. Maybe I can do something useful with those. And how many club losers have you got? Well, with normal distribution in clubs, which is a 3-2 distribution, you would expect to lose just 1 trick. In other words, you've got the ace, the king, a 3rd round they would win, and then your 4th club would be good, provided you're able to draw trumps and they're not able to ruff. So with normal distribution, I agree with those of you who said 3 tricks. You've got a spade loser, a heart loser, and a club loser. Anyone have any questions about that? Because most of you came up with a different answer to that.
I was thinking that you could dump 2 clubs on the diamonds.
Yes. Okay, well, we're going to come to that. Thank you very much.
Tony?
Yeah.
I find your questions slightly difficult.
Yes.
Because I thought that you went on the principle of definite winners. I mean, on the previous hand,
yeah.
I actually took in all the heart winners because I thought they would because of the distribution.
Very likely, isn't it?
Yes, but in this particular hand, I thought you tended to stick to the rules of ace and king, and you still got 2 losers. I mean, the fact that you've got 8 and there's 5 out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let me put it to you. Looking at the heart suit, how many hearts would you normally expect to lose?
On this hand?
Yes.
Well, there's 5 out. Probably 2.
Really? I mean, with normal distribution, and you may not get it,
yeah.
but if they are divided 3-2, if you imagine cashing the ace and the king, which we're going to do in a
Then you
moment,
only have one
you only have
loser.
one loser.
Yeah.
And the same
Yeah.
applies in clubs.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, this is all if you're able to not suffer roughs and if you don't get bad distribution. But with the majority of the time, you know, it'll be one spade loser, one heart loser, and one club loser.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Thank you.
so you start off with those three losers, and you also are going to have to think, as someone just said, we have that opportunity to cash the ace, king, queen of diamonds at some point and think about what we're going to play on that. But let's start off winning the first trick. And you may want to think about doing some roughing here, but let's suppose we start off by drawing 2 rounds of trumps with the ace and then the king. And if everyone follows, we've got the normal 3-2 distribution, and there's one high trump out, it's the queen. And of course, we're not going to draw it. That's nearly always a good idea. Okay, so we're going to lose that heart at some point. They can rough in with it whenever they like. But what we're going to do is turn our attention to the other suits. And let's suppose we start by playing the ace of diamonds. And you can see when you cash the ace and king of diamonds, you're going to have an opportunity to discard twice from the north hand. And my question to you is, what are you going to discard on the ace and king of diamonds? Are you going to discard 2 spades? Are you going to discard 2 clubs? Or are you going to discard a spade and a club?
Two clubs.
2 clubs.
Yeah, I'm going to launch a poll in a moment.
Okay.
So here comes the poll. I'm going to mute everyone again, actually, but unmute yourselves if you wish to ask a question. But here comes the poll. What are you going to discard on the 2 ace king of diamonds? Okay, let me share the results with you. And most of you here went for 2 clubs, 54%, with a fair number saying a club and a spade, and 21% saying 2 spades. So let's have a look at this. And why are we thinking about this? Because it's all about cutting down on the number of losers we have. And can you see that because we are thinking we've got 1 club loser and 1 spade loser, what we want to discard on this hand, as most of you have correctly gleaned, is the 2 clubs. Because if we discard 2 clubs, then with any luck, we won't lose any club tricks, okay? Because we'll be able to rough if necessary. Whereas if you discard 2 spades on the diamonds, then you haven't saved any losers because you've still got 1 spade loser. You're always planning on 1 spade loser. So roughing the spades is, discarding the spades on the diamonds is pretty useless, but discarding the clubs is what you want to do on this hand. And when this hand was played, most people just made 10 tricks, but a small minority managed 11 tricks. And this is how you do it. You just discard, you choose the option of discarding the 2 clubs on the 2 diamonds. By the way, as you're playing this, and as you're playing your other suits, there's a high trump out, and at some point, east or west is going to rough with it, but you don't care about that. It's always going to make a trick. And instead, you just leave it out and go about your other business. Now you've discarded the 2 clubs. Now you can play the clubs, start with the ace of clubs, winning in the shorthand, play a club over to your king, and you're planning to play another club here, which you're going to rough. Now, it turns out on this one, when you play that club, West may decide to rough with their queen. You don't care about that. So of course you don't rough, you just discard a spade there. And then whatever happens, if they play the ace of spades, you can win that. And you're going to lose 1 more trick. You're going to lose 1 spade trick, but that will be it. So whatever happens now, you'll just lose that. And then you've got you've got the rest. You can ruff the club, or in fact, if I bring up the forehand, you can see your club is good. Whatever they play here, you can ruff, and then you're just left with trump. So played that way, you can make 11 tricks, and it's all about thinking about what's the best thing to discard on the ace and king of diamonds. If I play this a slightly different way, so this is the same hand, but I'm going to play the ace and king of hearts as before, but this time when I play the diamond, I'm going to, if I decide to discard a spade, it doesn't really help me. It hasn't cut down on any losers. And in fact, if I click on the GIB button, the GIB button is saying to make an over trick, you must discard a club. So you discard 2 clubs, avoid a loser in clubs, and make 11 tricks. All right, so well done those of you who figured that out. Any questions on that? Let me know. And let's try another one. This one, you open a weak 2 hearts. There's a 3 diamond overcall, and North jumps to 4 hearts. And the opponents leave the ace of diamonds. And again, in a suit contract, we're going to start off by thinking about our potential losers. So let's look at the spade suit to start with. I think I'm in danger of losing 2 spade tricks. I've got the ace, I'm going to lose one there. I don't think I'm going to lose any hearts. I'm not going to lose any clubs, and I'm going to lose at least 2 diamonds. It looks like the opponents have started off with the ace of diamonds. They're going to take 2 diamonds. So it looks like I'm going to lose at least 2 diamonds, and I've got spade losers as well. But I've got the ace, king, queen of clubs, which will provide 2 discards. Okay, so let's see how it goes. They leave the ace of diamonds, and East plays the jack, which is a bit worrying. It from the fact that West overcalled at the 3 level there, they've probably got a good diamond suit. East gave an encouraging signal, I think, with the jack, and if they carry on with the king, East now plays the 2, so they were encouraging there. And let's suppose now West plays another diamond, the queen of diamonds, and I'm going to launch another poll now, which is, what are you going to play from dummy? You have a chance to ruff with a heart. Which heart would you ruff with if you do ruff? Or are you going to discard a spade or a club? So let me launch that poll and decide what you think you should discard, what you should play from dummy. And most of you have gone for the ace of hearts. A few people ruffed low, and 3 people discarded a spade. So let's have a look at this and see what we think. And well, you must realize here that East is very likely out of diamonds at this point, based on the fact that they signaled encouragement with the jack and then a low diamond. So if you ruff with a low trump, the 5 or even the 8, it's very likely that that will be over ruffed. So your other options, instead of ruffing low, are to ruff high or to discard something. Now, if we think about something to discard, you might think about discarding a spade or discarding a club, but that doesn't really help you. It does not, you're not planning to lose any clubs anyway, and you've got 2 spade losers. So discarding a spade doesn't cut down on your losers at all. In fact, what you've got here is you've got the ace, king, queen of clubs, and that will provide 2 discards. So we're actually, if we are able to, we can discard 2 losers from the south hand and maybe not lose any spades at all. So yes, the majority of you are right here. You have very good trump here. You have 9 trump, including the ace, king, queen, jack. So the choice there, I think definitely you should ruff high, ruff with the ace, and then it cannot be over ruffed. Okay, now you've done that, you should just turn your attention to trumps, drawing the opponent's trump. So we'll draw 1 round there, play another round. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think that's all the trump gone. And now you can just cash your club trick. Oh, sorry, there's one left. I miscounted. I beg your pardon. Right. So there's one more trump out. We all make that mistake of miscounting trump occasionally. And once you've drawn that, then you can take your tricks. And you've got the ace, king, queen of clubs. And of course, when you play that, you're going to discard your spade losers. And then that's going to be it. And you'll make 11 tricks on that one. Again, when this hand was played, very few people made 11 tricks, but as long as you choose the right option, which is roughing the third diamond high in dummy, you can just lose those 2 diamond tricks and that's it. Do interrupt me if you have a question. Finally, I'm going to look at this hand here, which was played a while ago.
Tony,
yep.
So to interrupt, on that last hand,
Yep.
I wouldn't have accepted the jack of diamonds as encouraging when it was followed by the 2. I take that as a high-low from a doubleton.
And that is encouraging, yes.
Yeah.
So why is he? So how?
No, the play was right. I go along with that. That you got a rough high.
Yes.
Of course, you know that East will have a rougher low trump.
What do you think the jack of diamonds shows then?
Nothing.
Nothing. Well,
No.
it does show something. It's either a singleton. When you leave the ace and your partner plays jack, it's either a singleton or your partner is giving an encouraging signal. Now you're saying that he's giving a count signal, are you?
Yes.
Yes. Well, it amounts to the same thing, right? He's showing an even number of cards, and what is standard to teach is that you give an encouraging signal here because you have hopes to rough the third trick. When your partner leads the ace of diamonds in a suit contract, you should assume they have the king, not necessarily the queen, but if they play a third round, you want to rough it. So you play the jack and then the 2.
No, sorry, Tony. I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is jack of diamonds shows one of 2 things.
Yes.
Encouraging to carry on.
Yes.
Or a high-low from a doubleton.
Right.
So there's really 2 meanings there.
It's the same thing.
Well, no, it depends what West thinks of it.
West will see the jack and will know it's high, and will know that it was either a singleton or his partner was encouraging.
Okay, well, I won't pursue it, but
Right.
I'll leave it like that. Thanks.
You may think it's showing a doubleton or something, but it amounts to the same thing. Let's have a look at this hand, which was played some months ago. And I thought it was interesting because according to the little grid here, you can see nearly everyone played this in 4 hearts by North. And to get a good score on this, you needed to make 650. You can see 4 hearts plus 1 got a score of 15 out of a possible 18 points. But quite a lot of people only made 4 hearts. Also, some people didn't bid game or bid something else. And if you bid 4 hearts just making, you only got 7 out of a possible 18 points, so less than 50%. So I thought I'd look at this one and see how it was played and how you would play this. So let's have a look at how it was played on one table here. North opens a heart, South responds a spade. North bid 2 clubs and South on this occasion bid 4 hearts. So North is declarer here, and they lead a diamond here. And again, in a suit contract, I'd like you to answer the question, how many losers do you think you have here? So you're looking at it from the point of view of the hand with a long trump suit. Your hand North is declarer here, but taking into account all the strength in dummy, how many losers do you expect? And I'm going to launch a poll on that in a moment. It's the last poll of the evening. Okay, let's have a look at it. And most of you have gone for 2, 2/3, with 22% going for 3, 1 person going for 4, and 2 people going for 5. And let's see what we think of this. So let's go through these suits one at a time. Looking at it from the point of the hand with the long trumps, if I look at the spade suit, you have no spade losers because you've got a singleton opposite the ace. If you look at the heart suit, you don't expect to lose any hearts there. You've got very good trumps, but you've got 2 diamonds and it looks like the opponents are going to take them right away. And in clubs, you should think about how many clubs you have and how many the opponents have. Here you have 9 clubs. You've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the opponents have got 4 clubs. So most of the time, you won't lose any club tricks. The clubs are most likely to be divided 3-1 or 2-2. But if they were only if they were divided 4-0, could there possibly be a loser there? But apart from that, so you're very likely not to lose any clubs, and you should just lose 2 diamonds. And although it seems relatively straightforward, a lot of people went wrong in various ways on this hand, but this is how I would play this. They'll win the first diamond. They'll probably play a diamond back. That's their 2 tricks. And let's suppose they play a club here. Okay, well, if they play a club here, you can win the ace. Actually, now you know you didn't get a 4-0 club break. That they're going to divide 2-2 or 3-1 because everyone has followed. So your clubs are now good. And all you now need to do is draw trumps. So we'll draw 1 round there, draw a 2nd round. And there's a 3rd trump out, so we'll draw that. And now we just need to cash our clubs. So we'll win in the shorthand with the queen, cross over to the king, and can just cash our remaining club tricks, discarding spades. And at the end, we'll make out 11 tricks, which a lot of people didn't make. And you basically just have those 2 losers in diamonds, and barring some horrible distribution in hearts or in clubs. Well, no, so it doesn't really matter how the hearts go, because I think because you've got such good trumps, but barring a horrible club break, you'll only lose those 2 tricks. Where did people go wrong on this one? Well, various ways. This was one time it was played. They actually stopped short in 2 hearts, which is really a very bad choice. And again, the opponent started off in diamonds. They took their 2 diamonds. And as we saw, that really should be it. They then switched to a club. But this declarer drew 1 round of trumps and then started playing spade. So took the ace. They played another spade, which West played the king on, and they were able to ruff. So you've actually, done something. You've achieved. You've set up the 2 spades with the queen and jack, but you didn't really need that. It hasn't really helped you at all. So it's all a sort of pointless exercise. And then this particular declarer didn't actually draw all the trumps, so they left a trump out. And then when they played another club, East got in and was able to get another trick by ruffing. So this declarer only made 10 tricks rather than the 11 that really were pretty straightforward to make. Other declarers did things like they finessed in spades. They led the 5 of spades towards the queen or jack, and of course that lost a 3rd trick. So again, a pointless exercise there. But I think if you try and focus on your losers and try and figure out, realize that you don't have any spade losers, that there's no point, ruffing spades, there's no point trying any spade finesse. Just lose the 2 diamonds and you should make the rest. Anyone have any comments or questions on any of that?
Tony, should the contract have been 4 hearts?
Yes, of course, 4 hearts.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll leave you to have a look at this hand. North bid 1 heart, South bid a spade, North bid 2 clubs, and then South bid 2 hearts. And Who do you think has misbid there?
South.
South, of course. South is
Yeah.
showing a hand with something like 6 to 9 points.
Yeah.
You know, some kind of heart support. So South should definitely not bid 2 hearts there. North hasn't really done anything wrong, but you should bid 4 hearts, and you should make 11 tricks, just losing those 2 tricks. So don't be tempted by the singleton in spade, try to rough spades. Don't be tempted by the finessing situation in spades. It doesn't really help you. The much more straightforward way to make this is just to take your 5 club tricks. Any other comments or questions on that?
Yes, Tony, on the bidding, I think South was wrong with 2 hearts.
I think they were very wrong.
Yeah.
I think it
Okay.
was terrible. Yeah, they were. I mean, the bidding the first time, which is on the screen now, that's how it should go, because South has got what 13 points,
Yeah.
and once their partners opened 1 heart, they should realize they want to be in game.
I
Something.
have a feeling I think it's a 5 loser hand.
The South hand, is it?
5, 6,
7
no,
losers.
7
Yeah.
losers.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7 losers.
Yeah. So that as well. Yes, it's
Tony, one question.
yes.
When South says 4 hearts, how does he know his partner has 5?
Ah,
Because he only has 3.
Right. So when your partner bids 2 suits, they
5, 4.
should nearly always have 5 in the first and
Oh.
4 in the second. So you're right not to support them initially, bid 1 spade, but when they bid a second hand, they should be showing at least 5 in the first and at least 4 in the second.
Okay. Thank you.
So yes, it's I think one person on this hand ended up playing in a club contract, and of course you do have a club fit. Your club fit is better than your heart fit, but you don't want to be playing this in 4 clubs or 5 clubs. You want to be in 4 hearts, of course.
Tony,
Yes, Morris.
when you're playing in a tournament, and this is an opinion I want, not criticizing any of the play, the first hand where you had 5 hearts in one hand and 4 hearts in the other, meaning there were 4 hearts out against you.
Yes, yes.
Have you found that if you've got 4 and a 5, one of the opponents has got the 4?
No, you mean like this hand I've got up there, where there are a 9.
No, the first hand you put up, actually.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're saying you think you're saying the missing hearts are often divided 4-0.
Yes, there is a great tendency that if you've got a bundle of hearts or any suit in the dummy and your hand,
Right.
one of the opponents has got the other 4.
Right.
So,
Well, it's
so
not
the
meant to be. It's not meant to be like that.
No, what I'm saying is it might, if you think of finessing to the queen, you're going to still lose to a Jack 10 4 times hand. But if you play a small one to the queen and find the 4 are on your right, you can finesse and make all the tricks.
You're absolutely right there, Morris. That's a good point. Actually, the way this was played was not the optimal way.
Yeah.
You can see that with this heart layout, the only time you'll lose, the only time you're in danger of losing a trick is if someone's got all 4 hearts.
Yeah.
Because if they're divided as they are 2-2 or 3-1, the ace, king, queen will cause them all to fall. But yes, actually the best way to play this is I think, as exactly as Morris was saying, start off with the ace or queen, and then if you find that they divide 4-0, then you can finesse if South started with all 4, because they've got they'll have the Jack.
You can finesse up to the 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If North has got all 4, including the Jack, then you can't take all the tricks. So you'll lose one trick. But yes, you're right. The odd, it gives you a slight edge to play the ace or queen.
Ace queen, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for that. That's a good point.
Good.
So I'll end the talk there. And
Thank you.